welcome back to the Nikki Clarke Show. The show is about conversations that matter, and I'm so excited to introduce a friend to the show. He's been on the show now. This is his second time, and since then he has been gracing the stage all across the globe. He's an international speaker, and I'm so glad that he's here today. Please welcome Roger Caesar to the show.
Thank you very much, Nikki.
Oh
Good
my
to be
gosh.
back. Good to be back.
Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, my pleasure.
And I am so excited for all your success. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's been a blessing. It's been fun, and I must give credit to all the different people who I've met along the way. It's just been a wonderful time.
It's so true. When people acknowledge all the things you do, and when people say you've been doing this and that, I'm like, well, it's a village. It's all the people around me that have been able to take me to that level. So I have to give back.
Exactly.
Say thank you.
It's not no one is an island.
Exactly.
And if you cannot give credit to those people who have come before you, then how do you expect to continue that trend onward?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about Roger Caesar. How did it become that you are an international speaker? How does one become that?
Well, I always say that things don't happen by accident. There's a path that is presented in front of you, and it's up to you to take it.
Right.
And for me, when I took over my family business, about 16 years ago, that's Caesar Transport Incorporated. And we are a transportation company in the GTA area, continuing to conquer the roads for your delivery needs. Had to put that in there, right?
Well played.
But the fact is that when I took over the business, I realized that there was something different in how I was communicating with others. Before that, I was my father's son. After that, you're the owner. And there was a difference in how they talked to you and how people reacted. And I had one incident, and it was the defining moment for me when I walked into one of our regular customers, and they were going through a management shift. And the new person who had come in, I walked into his office that day, and I introduced myself. Hi, I'm Roger. I'm the owner of Caesar Transport. We do your deliveries here, and I just wanted to introduce myself and welcome you to the company. And I remember he just looked at me with these beady eyes and didn't say a word. Literally, what felt like maybe the longest pause I had ever felt. And then he just said, "Thank you," and looked at me. And I remember in that moment trying to find some form of a conversation to continue talking.
Right.
And it was impossible. And I learned that he was an introvert. And I did not know how to communicate or to deal with a situation like that. And I remember coming back to my office, and after saying a few choice words that I won't repeat here.
Yeah, it's G-rated.
I realized in that moment that I had to find a way to feel comfortable in my position, but also to be able to talk to anybody, anywhere, anytime, and not feel afraid. And that's when I got involved in Toastmasters. And with that being said, I was able to learn the skills of being able to communicate, because I didn't have a problem speaking amongst a large crowd.
Right.
I had ran track and field all my life, and being in front of large crowds was fun to me. It was exciting, but it was moments like this right now that I found that I had issues, and they were able to help me to develop those skills. And to further that, the reason why I'm here now is because one gentleman, and we just talked about that you never realize all the people that come in that help you along the way, but this one gentleman, his name was Sanjay Sharma. And after I did my very first speech, he came up to me and said, "You will be a champion one day." And I laughed at him. It's not gonna happen. Don't worry about it. But he kept persisting. And I think that's the key with anybody when you have people around you that see your value, see what you can be. And he kept on persisting and kept on saying it to me. And I started to believe it more.
Sure. Yeah.
And the more I spoke, the more I realized, yes, this is something I can do.
It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, right?
It does.
You're planting good seeds.
Exactly.
Right.
And I felt that I had the ability to go on and speak and to be on these grand stages and perform and everything. And little did I know that 8 years later, I would have 4 championships in speaking. Wow. I would have graced the World Championships of Public Speaking stages 3 times in the last 5 years, and seen the world in ways that I've never been able to see before.
Now, how many places have you visited? How many countries?
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. So I've been to, just off the top of my head, Jamaica. I've been to the States, all over the States. I've been to, well, Grenada, where I'm from. I spoke there as well. And I'm trying to remember all of them. I'm going to be going to, which I'm very happy about, I'm going to be heading to Puerto Rico soon.
Oh, wow.
And also, I'm going to be speaking in Milwaukee.
Milwaukee,
right?
wow.
So I'm very excited with all the opportunities that I'm getting.
Yeah.
Right? And there's more, but I just can't remember all of them.
Well, this is amazing.
Yeah.
It really is. And you're coming from a place of, you think I could really do it? To the part now where you're actually mentoring people. And I've seen it.
Yes.
You know, I link into your LinkedIn profile, and you have so many people who are looking up to you and really hoping to fill your great shoes one day.
I'm humbled by that. And Nikki, it's funny because I've seen the responses from people, and those are people that I talk to, and I can list so many of them, you know, from Hassan Wadi to Kwesi Millington, Gabby Mamone, and different individuals who I have had the opportunity to either mentor or watch them grow.
Right.
And there's many more that I've seen. And the funny thing about it is, if I didn't have Sanjay do what he did for me, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing for them.
Exactly.
Right? And even though I find that it's selfless, and that's how you got to look at it.
Sure.
Is anything that you're doing, you want to do it with a selfless heart.
Selfless service.
Selfless service, and your heart is filled to give back. And that's what it is for me. I don't do it for the praises. I don't do it for the money. I don't do it for anything like that. Like side joke. I remember I went to an event in Hamilton once, and I was talking to this young poet, and he said to me, well, what are you in this for? I said, well, what are you in it for? He screamed out to me, he goes, man, it's all about the map. I looked at him, the map? It's the map, man. And he said, money, attention, and people. Oh.
How did you feel about that?
I turned around and I said, well, man, I think I'm going to go with Pam.
Pam?
I'm going to want the people first. The attention will come, and the money will follow.
Wow.
Right?
I like that.
That's how I look at it.
Chase the passion.
Chase the passion. I love what I do because I'm motivating people, I'm inspiring people, and I'm using my stories. And I think that's the most important thing, that your stories is what builds the connection with others.
Absolutely. Yeah, the relatability, the genuineness. Yep. It's a wonderful thing because, as I tell people, because I'm trying as much as I ask of people to share of themselves, I'm doing the same.
Right.
I'm trying to be as transparent. And I think it's a wonderful opportunity to release from yourself a deep place, a cathartic release emotionally, and that person is receiving your energy, and they're growing, they're healing, and it's a beautiful dynamic process when you're doing this, if you can get to that place.
Oh, no question about it.
But once you make yourself available to it, you also make yourself vulnerable. But there's a strength in vulnerability, I find.
There is, and I realize that, and that's where I go back to your stories, because as I've told people before, your stories are personal, but the message is universal.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. The stories are personal. The message is universal. if you are not able to become vulnerable and to talk about those stories, those ones that most people think are embarrassing or sad or that get them mad.
No one will get it.
Those are the ones that in an audience, when I'm standing there and I'm speaking, those are the stories that connect with those people, because those are the ones that say, geez, I'm going through that. Or I'm going through something similar.
I'm not alone.
Right?
Yes.
So we become the voice for the voiceless as speakers. And I think that's why it's so important that when we are up there, that we allow ourselves to be vulnerable and understand the value that comes with that.
Sure. There's a great responsibility that comes for people like you and for people like me and many others who
you do it
who
all
take
the time.
all the time. All the time.
Right? I've seen you too.
Yeah, and it's a leap of faith, you know, putting yourself out there, but it's so rewarding, a very enriching experience.
Yes.
And it may not happen right away. It's like, okay, I did it, but I'm not sure what's going to happen. But then you'll see the results later, and it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, and I think
when I hear people who are starting their podcasts or they're starting their shows from coming on the show, and that's like, okay, I planted a seed.
I got to give a shout out to Kapil Guy as well, because I know he's just starting off his podcast now, and I've known him for a while, and I'm so proud of. These are, again, those people that you've watched and you've mentored along the way, and you see them blossom and grow. So hearing that, I get it. I get it.
Awesome. So what's next for you?
It's, again, I put on my wall, Roger Caesar International, Roger Caesar moving forward. 2020, watch out.
Watch out.
And I continue to push for that. I want to be known everywhere. And while being known everywhere, I want to bring the other people that I've known along the way and get them up.
And uplift them. Fantastic.
As my grandmother would often say, when you rise, lift others with you.
I love that. I love that. And I have to give a shout out to your young mother.
Yeah.
She has, I saw a picture of you where you visited her recently in Grenada, right?
In Grenada. We went down there. It was her 70th birthday. She wanted to make sure that we were all there to celebrate with her. So we all went down with the kids, and it was fabulous.
I can just imagine.
I'm very happy about the genes.
Yes. It's good on you.
Thank you.
Definitely. So Roger, how can people reach you on social media?
Well, I'm on LinkedIn, so you can get me on LinkedIn, Roger Caesar, as well my website, which is rogercaesar.com. And I am now on Instagram at caesar.empire. And why I call it that is because I want to be able to build the empire with all the people that I know.
Okay. Well, I'm so happy to be part of that foundation.
Oh, you are. Thank you very much. And thank you for having me. Appreciate
it's always a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Roger Caesar, everyone. Look out for him on social media. We'll be back.
The Nikki Clarke Show, transforming lives one story at a time. If you would like to be a guest or become a part of our live studio audience or even to become a sponsor, just go to www.NikkiClarkeNetwork.com.